Okay, so I think something like this.
Where's the camera set right now?
Okay, that looks pretty good.
Celebrate our evening and
Okay. 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 Okay, morning everyone, and welcome. Let's start to set up for our session this morning. We'll start in a kneeling position. So, or you're also welcome to sit with your legs crossed, if that's preferable. Morning, hello, it's okay, we're just about to get started. Okay, so either sitting or kneeling, either option is fine. Just see if you can bring a little bit of length up into the spine like this. Let the hands rest wherever they're comfortable. Can be on the thighs, palms down, palms up. Either option is completely fine. And let's just settle into some breathing from here. Allow for a deep inhale. Lengthen and expand. And then allow for a soft exhale. And just sensing the shoulders rest a little bit. Abdomen soften. Face relax. And again, inhaling. Exhaling again, encouraging that softening throughout the body. That sinking sensation of the shoulders. That softening in the abdomen. And letting go of any lingering tension, throat or face or forehead. One more time, inhale. Fantastic, and exhale. Let's join the palms together at the chest like this. Interlace the fingers. Let's keep breathing. Add some movement of the arms. Inhale. Stretch the interlaced fingers all the way up. So you're grounded through the sitting bones and you're now lengthening and expanding even higher with the help of active arms pulling upwards. Exhale, hands all the way forwards. Drop the chin to the chest, round your back. Spread the shoulders out wide, hollow the chest. Inhale, wave all the way back up. Expand and lengthen, sides of the body grow tall, ribs expand, chest lift. Exhale, round forwards again. Let the back broaden and spread while the front of the body hollows out. Good. Let's see if we can just flow through two more of these. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Well done. Just really nice to wake up the spine, the trunk, and the torso. So I lied. Sorry. One more time. Wave the arms up. Fantastic. Release the interlace of the fingers. We keep breathing as we wave laterally. Right fingers to the right side. Lean to the right. Straight left arm. Long left side body. Anchor the left sitting bone. Inhale. Wave back up to the center. Exhale, left fingers to the ground, lean left, straight right arm, palm face down, ground the right sitting bone. Good, and you get the idea. Inhale, wave up. Exhale, wave to the right. Good, nice side bend through the whole side of the body. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Nice. Find your own rhythm. If my guidance is a little bit too fast or a little bit too slow for your rhythm of breathing, then you just adjust to whatever suits you and is a little bit more comfortable or natural for you here as we keep opening up side to side. All right, well done. And then next round, back up to the center from here. Wave those hands all the way down to the mat. Turn the fingertips to point backwards. So if you crossed your legs, you'll have to uncross now so that you can make your way onto the hands and knees. Spread all the fingers wide, gripping into the floor here, and start to explore a waving motion through cat-cow. So cow pose, point the tail up, curl the heart forwards, gaze slightly upwards. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly in, press the floor away, hollow out the chest, let the head hang down. Inhale, wave through the spine. Good, and every time you do this, you should feel a bit of a stretch through the front of the wrists, round it back into the cat pose, and the front of the forearms, and maybe even through the palms and fingertips. A few more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Well done. Release those hands. Okay, turn them back to face forwards. Good. This time, spread all the fingers out. Bring those hands slightly forwards, a hand distance out in front of the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Press the floor away with a nice, stable shoulder girdle. Lift the knees and wave the tailbone all the way up and all the way back. So this is our first down dog. I like to call this a rusty dog because we're just working through some of the rust in the body. Good. So you're allowed to have the legs bent. Focus on getting a little bit more length through the spine, through the sides of the trunk. Focus on finding that stability in the shoulder girdle. Good. And that action of really pressing through the floor, not just resting on the arms, the hands here, but really pressing through and feeling how that brings about the experience of length and space in the body. As you feel comfortable, pedal out the legs, make any movements, okay, that feel comfortable releasing, balancing for your body this morning. You might roll the head side to side. Good. You might even swing the hip side to side a little bit. Lift a leg or not. Okay, it's really up to you. Last few moments here. Great job. And then gently place both knees down. Open those knees wide, big toes together. Wave those hips all the way back into a child's pose. Crawl the hands across the mat to the left side. Stretch out to the left. Let the head rest and relax wherever it's most comfortable, either on the ground or just anywhere between the upper arms. Anchor the right sitting bone, and again, breathe and expand into the right side of the trunk, torso, for a few rounds of breathing. And then slowly wave those hands all the way across the mat to the other side, to the right side. Good. Reach out across to the side. Try to anchor the left sitting bone and breathe into that left side of the body. Okay, feel that spaciousness, that width, that broadness, that expansion in the left side as you breathe. Well done. And then all the way back to the center again from here. Wave it back up. Find this tabletop pose and then tuck the toes under behind you and have a go at gently sitting upright on the heels. Now, if this is too much for the feet or for the toes, you simply untuck, okay, and you go back onto the top sides of the feet. Otherwise, it's a really great pose to just start to awaken and open up the toes and the soles of the feet. From here, bring the hands forwards. Turn the thumbs down. Cross right hand over the left hand and interlace the fingers. Nice job. Curl those hands in towards the chest and then have a go at rounding forwards and straightening those arms downwards, just as much as your body allows. This is going to all depend on the structure of your hands, wrists, elbows, and shoulders, as well as, the mobility in those areas as well of the soft tissue. Curl the hands back in. Inhale, lift the hips. Stretch up high. Straighten the arms. Use the arms to lift the heart, to lengthen the trunk and the spine. Good. And we flow. Exhale, sit back onto the heels. Curl the hands in. Round forwards. Drop chin. Spread shoulder blades. Nice job. Inhale, curl the hands in. Lift hips. Reach up and lengthen. Good. Find your own rhythm again. If my guiding or my breathing is a little bit too fast or too slow, you just adjust to find what works for you. And we just keep flowing between these two movements. Okay, great job. Last one. Fantastic. And then slowly come down. Release the hands. Just flick those wrists out a little bit. Untuck the toes. Sit back down onto the top side of the feet. Inhale, wave the arms up high. Exhale, twist to the left side. Left fingertips either on a block behind you or on the floor. Right hand over the left thigh. Okay, good. 3 breaths here. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to use both arms, supporting you to stay upright as you gently rotate and gaze behind you. If you wanted, the left hand behind you can also grab for the outer right foot. Okay, and then you sort of got the 2 hands on 2 sections of the body guiding your rotation. And then release, wave the arms straight back up again. Exhale, twist to the right side. So right fingers behind you, either on a block or the ground. Left hand on the right thigh. Good. Think length with each inhale and gentle unwinding, rotating with each exhale. Your right hand could also catch for the outer left foot behind you here. And then you got both hands on the body, gently guiding the rotation. And then release. Nice job. Wave the arms back up. Exhale, release the hands down. Spread those fingers wide again, gripping into the mat. Stabilize at the shoulder girdle, so pressing action already before you even lift. And then knees float up and tail waves all the way up. This second round of our downward facing dog. Fantastic. Maybe it's feeling a little bit more accessible from here. Maybe there's a little bit more length in the spine, space in the shoulders, or length through the back of the legs. Lovely. Let's lift up onto the toes now. Good. And get that tailbone to point even higher. Good. Feel as though your body's making a nice V shape up towards the sky. Breathe for 3. Well done. Breathe for 2. And then 1. Gently gaze forward. Step those feet all the way up to the front of the mat. Well done. And you might want to set up your 2 blocks here at the front of the mat like this. Remember, the blocks have different settings. You have a medium setting, which I'm on right now. You also have a high setting, and then you have a low setting. But what's important here is that we get the entire palms down onto the blocks, feet hip width apart. Okay, press into the blocks. See if you can send the chest forwards, flatten out through the back, and root through the mounds of the feet nice and firmly. And then let's flow here, this final little sequence of our warm-up. Bend into the right leg, press from right shoulder to right hand, wave the left arm all the way up. Nice rotation through that whole upper body. Exhale, left hand comes down, left leg bends, wave the right arm all the way up. Imagine you want to get that right shoulder to stack above the left one. Nice job. You guys got it. Waving down, waving up, waving down, waving up. Good. Keep it going for a few rounds. Okay, well done. And then gradually bring that back to the center. One last time. Inhale, lengthen the heart forwards, press into your blocks. Exhale, gently let that upper body, that trunk dangle down towards the ground. Grab opposite elbows and allow the weight of the shoulders, arms, head to help you just gently unwind, unravel the spine down towards the floor. You can have bent legs here to make this folding a little bit more accessible from the pelvis. You can sway side to side a little bit. Any other movement you want to add, you go right ahead. Well done. For another 3, another 2, and another 1. Well done. Let's release those hands down over the course of the next 5 breaths. Let's gradually wave ourselves up through the spine. Good. Gently waving. Pelvis, lower back, upper back. Good. Finally starting to come up through the shoulders, shoulder girdle, chest, and then with the neck, and then finally with the head. And we find ourselves all the way up at the front of our mat. Lovely. Let's step to the front. Feet are going to be about hip width apart. Press down through the mounds of the feet. At the same time, feel the thighs start to awaken and engage. Bring the hands to the chest like this. Lovely. Just close the eyes and establish a nice, steady inhale and exhale through the nose. If you know Ujjayi breathing, you can start to connect to that Ujjayi breathing with the slight constriction in the back of the throat. Otherwise, natural breathing through the nose is perfectly fine. Well done. Okay, slowly open the eyes, release the hands down. Inhale, wave arms straight out and up. Gaze all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down to the chest. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, stretch all the way back up. Lift up onto your toes. Get as tall and lifted as you can. Well done. And then release the hands, drop the heels. Long exhale as you fold over the thighs. Long belly unwinding and unraveling. Inhale, press the hands against the shins, flat back, long spine. Exhale, hands down, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Keep that right knee lifted off the floor, stay high on the mounds of the right foot. Stamp through the left foot. Inhale, wave the arms all the way up. Well done. See if you can bend into that left leg so the shin is vertical, but stay strong and stable through the back thigh. Keep the torso as it is, only the arms. Exhale, wave them down. Inhale, wave them all the way out and up, re-lengthening. Exhale, bring the hands down, find the heart, interlace the fingers like we just did. Inhale, stretch all the way up. Well done, active arms, long trunk. Exhale, wave the hands down. Great job. Step back to a plank pose. Drop to the knees, inhale, curl the heart forward. Exhale, chest and chin melt to the ground. Butt points up nice and high. Good. Flatten the body out from here. Roll the shoulders back. Curl that chest up and open. Exhale, wave all the way back down again. Fantastic. Open the arms out to a cactus shape. Roll the shoulders back. Lift up again like this. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Try to keep the neck long. Fantastic. And then move this lifted cactus over to the left side a little bit. Good. Hold it lifted. Move this cactus over to the right side a little bit. Keep it lifted. Bring it all the way back to the center. Keep it lifted. Bring the hands gently under the shoulders. Keep the engagement of the back. Lift a little bit higher. Feel how we're not only relying on arms here to lift us up. It's a lot of engagement through the back muscles. Exhale, wave it back down. Tuck the toes under. Press it straight back into a child's pose with your toes tucked. Spread your fingers out. And then wave the tailbone straight back up to the sky again. Well done. Long spine, spread fingers, press through the floor. Downward facing dog. Fantastic. As you're ready, I want you to join the feet together behind you. Yep. And with an inhale, have a go at floating the right leg up and back. Careful of the wall behind you. If you're close, good. Look forwards. Big step through with the right foot. Find the front of the mat from here. Nice job. Okay, right knee over right ankle. Engage that back thigh. Stamp down through the feet. Wave the arms straight up. Okay, good. Take your time. Find that stability. Right shin vertical if it's possible. Exhale, hands come down. We flow. Inhale, wave straight back out and up. Exhale, the hands come down. Maybe you soften a bit deeper into the lunge. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, stretch straight back up. Long, lifted. Energy is drawing upwards through the body. Exhale, bring it back down. Nice job. Find the floor. Step the back foot forwards. Hands connect to the shins. Chest points forward. Exhale, fold it over. Bend the legs as much as is necessary for you to find the floor with the hands, and then press into those feet. Inhale, wave the arms all the way back up. Fantastic. Exhale, right hand down to your right side. Crawl the right fingers down the right thigh and slowly explore lengthening out to the right side. Good. Keep the pelvis and the torso faced forwards. Good job. And then inhale, wave all the way back up. And then exhale, left hand down the left thigh, crawl down, crawl down, crawl down. Extend that right arm over to the left side. Good job. Stamp through the feet. Inhale, wave straight back up to the sky with both arms. Let's keep moving. Exhale, hinge and fold, long belly over the thighs. Let that forehead melt towards the shins. Bend the legs as necessary. Inhale, press through the shins, heart waves forward. Exhale, both hands down. And this time, step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Nice job. So we're high on the mound of that left foot again. Inhale, wave these arms straight back up to the sky. Fantastic. Exhale, bring the hands gently down to the chest like this. Slowly lower the back knee, but keep it light. So the idea here is that we bring it into a low lunge, but we're keeping the knee nice and light. So there's still a lot of energy in the back leg. Bring the right hand to the inside of your right thigh. Connect them firmly together. Inhale, left arm up. Good. And revisit that side bend, reaching across to the right side. Nice job. Right arm, right thigh, pushing firmly against one another. Good. Keeping you stable while you extend and explore, opening out to the right side. All right, well done. And then slowly come back up. This time the left hand is going to come out to the left side. You might need a block here, okay, like this. So left hand finds the support of a block. Right arm comes all the way up. And then we open it out to the left side like this. Remember, the block has different settings. You can put it down on a lower setting. You can even put your left hand to the floor if that's available to you. But remember, hips, torso, and chest stay pointed forward. So it's a lateral movement, okay, over to the side. It's not a twisting one. Well done. Inhale, wave it all the way back up. Nice job. And then wave the hands down. Lift that back knee. Let's step back to the plank pose again. Take an inhale, nice, stable, steady plank. And then with the exhale, melt the knees, the chest, the chin to the ground. Fantastic. Flatten out the body from here. Roll the shoulders back. Gentle curling action up through the heart, through the spine. Exhale, lower it back down. Well done. Interlace the fingers around behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Stretch the arms back. Lift the chest. Keep the neck long. Lift the feet, lift the thighs as well. See if you can lift from the inner portion of the thighs. So there's not so much strain on the lower back when you're lifting from here. Well done. And then release, lower it down. Hands back under the shoulders. Roll those shoulders back. Ground through the toenails. Again, curl up. Good. Use the combined action of the muscles in the back, the arms, as well as the active legs. And then gently press yourself back to that child's pose, toes tuck under. And then wave the tail straight back up to the sky. Okay, downward facing dog. All right, well done. Take a rest anytime you need to, perfectly fine. Join those feet together behind you. With an inhale, wave the left leg up and back. Nice work. Nice lift in that left leg. Lift up to the right toes to get a bit more height. And take a big step through between the hands. Oh, hello, Ning. I didn't see you back there. Ning's surprising us. She wants to teach again. What do you think? All right, where are we? So we're in this lunge position. Stamp the feet. Inhale. Wave the arms up, or you just want to be on camera, Ning? Come, put your mat in here. All right, good. We're in this lunging position, so this really gives us a chance to feel and sense the activation in the back leg, really pressing down through the mounds, engaging the thigh. That's what's going to open up this front area of the right hip. We keep some of that as we gently place the knee down, okay? So we don't just lose it all and let this back leg turn to jelly, right? Bring the left hand down inside the left thigh, press them against each other, and explore that side lengthening and expanding as we go to the left side. Okay, so we should feel it along the right side of the trunk, maybe a bit deeper in the right hip flexor as well. Remember, back leg strong, so your back knee feels light. One more breath here. Well done. And then that right hand comes down. It either finds the block on whichever setting works for you, or it finds the floor, and the left palm turns out, and then it waves all the way up and over to the right side. Okay, well done. And we keep those hip points evenly pointed forward, and the chest also squared forwards. Well done. One more breath here. Great job. Come all the way back up to the center for good measure. Let's wave the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, let's wave the hands down. Nice job. Lift that back knee. Step to the front. Good. Gentle fold, long belly over the thighs. Hinge from the hips. Uncurl the spine. And then press through those feet. Wave the arms straight back up. Exhale, bring the hands down through the chest. Bring the feet together this time. Press down through the feet. Try to squeeze the inner thighs together. Switch on the muscles of the thighs, even tone the butt slightly here. And then inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. And be careful, what usually happens is we get into this banana back action, okay? When the arms come up overhead, especially if there's tightness in the shoulders or the upper back. So just zip this lower abdominal area in and up. Lengthen down through the tailbone, and it's going to stabilize and brace this midsection so that we can now slowly explore lengthening to the right side. Okay, so notice I say lengthening because it's a very engaging movement here, and we're not just falling to the side, we're really grounding through the feet and lengthening and expanding to that right side. Inhale, wave back up, well done. Stamp down the feet, and exhale, extend over to the left side this time. Good, keep squeezing in the thighs together, strong legs, zipped up through that lower abdominal center. Breathe. Inhale, well done, back to the center again. Exhale, long waving motion over the thighs, legs bend as is necessary. Press against the shins to send the heart forward. Well done. And then exhale. We're going to step left foot back again. Same as before. Strong through that back thigh. Stamp the feet down. Wave the arms all the way up. Well done. Bring the arms around behind you. Interlace the fingers. Gently stretch the interlaced fingers down the back thigh. Feel the shoulder blades draw down, the back of the body narrows, the front of the body and the chest broadens and expands. A nice distributed arch through the spine, through the back. Well done. And then release the hands down, place the knees to the floor. So you might like to set up with blocks here, framing the right foot. You might be okay without blocks, okay? We can explore and then figure out what's right for us. Send the momentum of the hips forwards, the chest lifts, and then send the momentum of the hips backwards, flex the right toes towards you, so the back knee's down, and then add a fold over the right leg. Okay, so we're in a half split position. See if you can bring some life into that right leg by flexing the toes towards you and pushing down through the heel. Well done. Again, inhale, drive those hips forwards. Good. Use the momentum forward hips. Press into the blocks, send the chest upwards. Exhale again, wave it back. Find this half split position. This time, if you feel stable enough, release the hands from the blocks, wave the hands back beside you like this. Good. And stretch the fingers back, draw the shoulders back, and see if you can keep the spine long and the chest open. Good. Breathe for 3. Well done. It's a tricky one. It's going to require a lot more activity in the legs and the hips. It's a lot more demanding. 3. Good job. 2. And 1. Place the hands back onto the blocks. Well done. Bending into that right leg. Bring the blocks forwards. Lift the back knee. Slowly transition the weight into the hands, into the front foot. Lift the left leg up. Well done. Press into the blocks. Try to lift with the muscles of the back. Either pause here now or wave those arms back into the same position, the same action. Warrior 3. Hands beside the body. Good. Shoulders away from ears. Strong in that whole posterior chain. Lifting you as you breathe here for 3. Well done. 2. And 1. Fantastic. Hands find the blocks again. Place the left foot, cross it around the back of the right foot. Okay, yes. And then curl your blocks back a little bit, closer towards you. Good, we're all crossed. Fantastic. And then inhale, wave the spine forwards, press into the blocks. You can use the fingertips. Exhale, fold with the legs crossed over like this. And you can use the floor, okay, if that's available, if you're not quite, if you don't want to use the blocks. Inhale, lengthen the spine, wave. Good. Exhale, bend, fold it back down. One more round. Inhale, wave the spine forwards. And exhale, gently fold it down. Fantastic. And wave the spine forwards. We're going to uncross the left leg. To do that, okay, we're going to see if we can slowly wave the left leg all the way up and back. Press into the blocks. Okay, so we're back in that warrior 3 stance, sort of. And then slowly bend the right leg, left foot down. Find the back of the mat. Nice job. Bring the hands down like this. And then have a go. You might want to have a block also nearby, somewhere out to the right side. Crawl the right foot across the mat like this. And then slowly begin to soften down into the hips. Okay, how's that feeling for everyone? All right, nice job. So, like we've been doing, try to square the hips forwards, tuck the back toes under, switch on the back thigh. Lovely. Now you can stay on the fingertips here, but try to lift up tall and really switch on by pressing that front shin into the ground. Okay, and we're going to do a few rounds of pigeon, some active pigeon variations here. So 1, you're going to just keep the fingers down, keep the legs strong and the hips centered, and you're going to do a little bit of a push-up. Come down with the arms bent, as if you're doing a push-up, and press back up. Okay, but try to use the strength in the hips as well. A more challenging option is rolling the arms back, fingers down, like we did in that warrior 3, and doing the same thing, coming forwards and down, and then pushing yourself back up. So whichever option you want, see if you can do 5 of these nice and slow. You should feel that outer right hip really coming to life and waking up. Okay, so do with or without the hands. It's really, either option is completely fine. Good. All right, well done. And then slowly start to come back up. Good. Set those hands into a stable position. Lift the back knee. And we're going to swing this right foot all the way up and back to the sky. Bend the leg, peel open the hip. And you might like to make some circular motions here with that right knee, drawing big circles. Good. Change the direction of those circles. And then gently place the right foot all the way back to the ground. Choose your option. You take a child's pose here, okay? is option number one. A second option, from your down dog, you're going to wave through the spine, okay, and just do a vinyasa chaturanga, coming down, waving up through the spine, cobra or up dog. Exhale back through to down dog, okay? 5 breaths wherever you are, whether you're in the down dog or the child's pose, either option is fine. Okay, we're going to reconnect and do that on the other side shortly. So when you're ready, let's all start to make our way up into that downward facing dog. And to set up, let's simply step the left foot forwards between the hands. Well done. All right, so that right knee's lifted. Stamp through the left foot, wave the arms up. Revisiting this lunge a lot this morning. Good. Connect to the activation of the back leg. Good job. And then slowly start to look. Oh no, we interlaced. Okay, we have to interlace. Sorry. Interlace. Roll the shoulders back. Crawl interlace fingers down the back thigh. Good. Feel the back of the body narrow. Shoulder blades squeeze in and down. Chest broaden and expand. Well done. Release. Bring the hands down. Place the right knee to the floor. You might use the blocks again. Take an inhale as you wave the hips forward. You use that momentum. The chest lifts up. And then exhale, melt those hips back. Flex the left toes towards you and start to take a fold over the left leg. Fantastic. See if you can dig the left heel into the ground. Flex the left toes towards you. Good. So we're activating that leg in preparation for that next variation we do, okay, without the hands. Well done. Wave those hips forwards again. Good. Coming all the way through. Good. Curl up through the chest. Exhale, wave those hips back. Nice job. Dig into the left heel. And then if you feel uncomfortable, it's just an option. You slowly release the hands. You wave the fingers back. You draw the shoulders away from the ears into this more active version of our half split. You're going to feel maybe a bit shaky in the legs, in the hips. Good. 3, well done. 2, 1. Hands find the blocks again. Nice job. Gently drive forwards through those hips. Let the chest curl up and open again. Well done. Bring the blocks forwards from here. Lift the back knee up. Good. And then start to transition your weight forwards into the left foot and into the blocks as a nice active right leg floats up. Good. Press through the blocks, find balance, square the hips. And then when you're ready, see if you can wave those arms up and back beside the body again. Awaken the muscles of that posterior chain. Balance. Breathe. Well done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come back down. Let's cross that right foot around the back of the left one here. Let's readjust the blocks so that they're square with the rest of the body. And then let's just flow a few rounds here. Inhale, wave the chest forwards. Exhale, bend those arms and fold it all the way over. Inhale, press through the blocks, wave heart forward. Exhale, bend those arms, wave it all the way over. Good. Let's explore perhaps another 2 or 3 rounds. And usually when our legs are crossed over like this, we're going to feel this a lot more up the outer right leg, outer right hip. All right, fantastic. Let's slowly wave back up through the spine. Let's readjust the blocks. They might need to move a little bit further away just for a brief moment. Let's lift the right leg up and back again. Well done. And then let's bend into the left leg so that that right foot can find the floor once more. Drop into the right knee. Good. Make sure you've got quite a nice distance between right knee and left foot. And then slowly start to crawl that left foot across the mat. Okay, let's catch for the left foot towards the outer right edge of the mat. And then let's see if we can slowly start to drop into the hips. And those hips might not find the floor, which is okay. More importantly here, we want to square up the hips to face forwards and then see if we can press down through the floor to hold them in that position. Like we did earlier, either on fingertips, gentle push up, down. Okay, not just relying on the hands, but pushing through the front shin to help lift you back up, or without the hands. Okay, so you roll shoulders back, you come upright like this, and now we're solely relying on the strength through the hips and lower body to come up and down. So you guys choose, okay? Good. Take your time with it. See if you can do 5. Nice work. Okay, well done. And then coming all the way back up onto those hands. Lift the back knee and swing this left leg up and back. Bend the leg, peel open the hip, and start to make some circular motions. Okay, draw some circles with the left knee, nice and big. Good. Change the direction, circle out the other way. Good. Place the left foot beside the right one. Choose your option to rest in a child's pose. Give yourself time to rest. Okay. Flow through a vinyasa if you feel ready. Okay. Waving forwards, up dog. Lovely. Waving back, down dog. Lovely. All together, let's take this brief child's pose. Close the eyes, rest, settle. Reconnect, balance that inhale, exhale through the body. Okay, great job. And then let's all together make our way up onto the hands and knees from here. So we find this tabletop pose, okay? Let's bring the right knee to the center of the mat and cross the left knee over the back of the right one. Open the feet nice and wide so you've got space between the heels. And then start to slowly roll yourself down like this to sit either between the heels, yeah, that's good, or you can put a block or even a blanket in underneath the hips, and it's going to make sitting upright a lot more accessible if sitting on the ground's not so possible, not so available. Okay, nice. Once we have that cross, another nice idea, have a belt handy nearby. Okay. Yeah, nice. All right, you might not need the belt. Okay, you want this one? Okay, ready? Okay. So swing the left arm all the way up, and then the left arm all the way down and up between the shoulder blades. Good. Inhale, bring the right arm up, and then see if you can bend the right arm now and catch either fingers together, or you use your belt now as a connection piece between right and left hand. Okay, nice job. This right elbow, see if you can start to bring it in towards the head, so it's not pointing out to the side. You're drawing it in towards the center. Good. And then just try to sit nice and tall, even pressing the head gently back against that right arm. Stay for a few breaths. Well done. And see if you can maintain that bind as you exhale now and fold forwards over the legs. Now, if it's not possible, you can stay upright, okay, for a few more rounds of breath here, because we will release the bind shortly. Nice work. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Wherever you are now, release the bind and just fold forwards with the arms extended out in front. Okay, last few breaths here. Nice job. And slowly crawl those hands straight back towards you. Wave those arms back up. Bring the right hand over to the right side and slowly lean to the right side. Reach through the left fingertips. And you should feel here your left thigh, your left hip is pinned to the ground. So you can get quite a nice deep stretch here through the left side of the body and the outer left hip. This position, it sort of feels like it gets deeper into that left hip socket area. A few more breaths. Well done. And then wave it all the way back up to the center again. See if you can use a bit of momentum here and rock yourself forwards back onto the hands, back onto the knees. Okay. Lovely. Let's uncross those legs. Open the knees wide. Bring the big toes to touch. Circle the hips. Good. Some nice big circular motions in the hips. Good. Circle the hips the other way. Well done. Come back up to this tabletop pose. And we do the other side this time. So I forget, is it left? So it's left knee to the center and then right knee over the back of the left one. Open the feet and the heels wide so there's room between them. And then have a go at slowly coming back to sit down between the heels. Remember, you can use a block in underneath you so you can sit a little bit more upright from here. Nice work. Once you're settled there, just starting to get a little bit more upright, grounding both of those sitting bones. Inhale, right arm up high. Exhale, the right arm swings around behind you and then it creeps up between the shoulder blades. Right arm will usually be a little bit more difficult, so it can be nice to use the left hand to help guide it upwards, okay? Even to catch the elbow here and help guide it upwards. The right's always a little bit more restricted in this movement. Inhale, left arm up. Bend and explore that bind with or without the belt. Good. Try to draw the left elbow in towards the side of the head, maybe even behind the head. If it's available, you can lightly push the head back against the arm. And just sit up tall here for a few more rounds of breathing, whether you're bound at the fingers or bound with the belt. Fantastic. Stay upright or gently explore this fold with the bind. Okay, so 5 breaths with the bind, if it's possible. And release the bind. Let the hands stretch all the way forward and give you support to fold forwards. Good. All right, well done. Start to slowly make your way back upright from here. Bring that left hand to the left side and right arm over to the left side. Okay, so a side bend to the right this time. And again, we get to explore with a little bit more depth here through that outer right hip, right waistline of the body. Stay for a few more breaths. Well done. And wave it all the way back up to the center. Nice job. Those arms come up. Use a bit of momentum. Wave yourself forwards. Nice job. Open up those knees wide. Big toes touch. Circle the hips again. Okay, find some nice big circular motions. Lovely. Change. Go the other way. Fantastic. Tuck those toes under. Have a go at slowly rolling yourself back into this malasana. So we find ourselves in a squatting position. Okay. Nice job. And let's adjust that position to bring the feet together, but keep the knees wide. Okay, I think Ning explored Bakasana with you guys yesterday. The arm balance, crow pose. Okay, so let's have another go. Let's try to sink in nice and deep. Okay, all this hip opening, let's sink ourselves in now, and let's connect the knees high onto the upper arms. Draw the elbows in. If that's difficult, you can actually stand on a block with your toes, and it's going to help the knees get a little bit higher. I'll demo in a moment. Okay, spread the fingers. Good. Now look forwards. Keep those knees tight on the upper arms, and start to lift the bum and gently shift your weight forwards into the hands. Your upper arms become a shelf for your knees to rest on. Try to look forwards, not backwards. Good. Broad through the upper back. Maybe lift one foot up off the floor. See if you can pull it up. Place it back down. Lift the second foot up off the floor. See how that feels. If it's accessible, lift both feet up off the floor. See how that feels. Okay. Come back down. Take a squat or a seat. Interlace your fingers. Roll those wrists out for a moment. Okay. 2 other options we can explore here. So put a bolster in front of you, and sometimes the only limiting factor here is how far forwards we're willing to explore. So if I'm getting into the position, but then I'm only leaning forwards this far, there's no chance to lift because all the weight is still stuck back in my hips, right? So sometimes there's that element of fear, of trust, that I need to just gradually work through, shifting forwards, forwards, forwards into the hands, into the fingers. Then there's a point where those feet become really weightless, okay, because the weight of the body transitions. But of course, it's kind of scary, yeah? Because we all think we're going to, boom, okay, face plant to the ground. So put a bolster in front of you so that if that does happen, okay, it's nothing to be too concerned about. Okay. And nice, Ian. Yes. All right. There you go. You just give the bolster a hug. See? That's it. Okay. The other thing as well, if you feel like you can't get the knees high enough up the arms, then you put a block in position and you step up on top of a block. So that's going to allow you to get your knees higher. Okay. So now you're getting the shape and you can still explore. Okay. So you can try like that with the feet on the block as well. All right.
Easier or harder?
It helps you get to position. Okay. Because your hips are going to be a little bit higher. You can get your knees higher up the arms. But it means you're a bit higher off the ground as well. So it can be a little bit scarier. Okay. All right. So have a little bit of an explore. Okay. How are we doing? Okay. Nice job. Okay. Good. Look forward. Look forward. Good. That's the spot. There you go. That's the. You felt how I was pulling you forward? You got a little bit further forward to find that sweet spot, okay? All right. Nice job. All right. All right. Nice job. Just take a moment, kneel or sit, roll the wrists out again. Okay. What time is it? All right. Fantastic. Roll those wrists out lightly. Fantastic. Bring the hands down. Just gently lift yourself up. Bring the blocks to the ground. And just open those feet to about hip width apart. Let the legs bend, so you're not trying to target the legs so much here, but interlace the fingers and just gently start to fold forwards a little bit. And after all that effort and work, a lot of that pose is in the shoulder girdle. Just sort of roll side to side a bit here, okay? Release the head and the neck out of the shoulders. You take it as gentle as you like. Nice. Okay, then release the interlace of those fingers. And we're slowly going to roll ourselves all the way up through the spine. We're going to swing the arms up. And then we're going to release the hands down. Nice job. Have both of those blocks handy at the front of the mat. Okay. Hands onto the hips. Lift the right heel. Prepare this left leg to hold your weight. Lift the right leg. And then step it back towards the back of the mat. So it's not a crazy wide stance, but it's not a really short stance either. Okay, those hips are squared to the side of the room. Open the arms up with an inhale. Good job. With an exhale, just reverse this position. So crawl the right fingertips down the left leg, stretch the left fingertips back overhead. Fantastic. And then slowly bring it back. And with that same feeling of length in the left side of the trunk, hinge from the left hip crease forwards. Good. And come down to either find the block, the shin, or the ankle. But try to keep your left side of your body in line with your left leg. So a lot of the time, this left side, it wants to tip forwards to go deeper. Okay, so keep that all in one line. Try to contain that motion. Good. And then start to expand the right arm up and open to the sky. Okay, so we find ourselves in a triangle pose. Well done. Long through the spine. Expand it across the chest and the shoulder girdle. Great job. Inhale. Slowly wave that back up again. Bring the hands onto the hips. And now we're going to turn our hips to face forwards like this. It's going to feel a bit awkward doing it like that. So with this right leg, we step over to the right side a little bit. So now those hips are nice and squared. Okay, put the blocks down. Frame the left foot. So you've got your two blocks there. Good. Have a look at this left leg. I'm going to lift all my toes and really stamp down into the foot. And this left leg becomes really strong from the foot all the way up through to where that leg plugs into the hips. Wave the right arm up now. Fantastic. Exhale, start to lengthen forwards and then cross that right hand over to the left block. Okay, see if you can find the block here over to the left side. The block has different settings. We want to try and get the whole palm onto the block. Okay, you can put it lower if you like. You can put it higher if you like. Good. Now, press down into that block and start to turn your torso, turn your chest, turn your back, turn your shoulders, and then wave left arm up to the sky. It's the same sort of feeling. We want to see if we can get that left arm to open up and broaden across our chest, upper back, shoulder girdle area. Well done. Breathe. 3. Nice job, guys. You're looking amazing. 2. Fantastic. And 1. Press through those feet. Slowly wave the arms up. Good. And release the hands. Find the hips. Slight bend in the front leg. Step forwards. Give your legs a shake. Okay, we do this on the other side and then we're done with all of our standing poses. Okay, so hands on the hips. This time it's the left foot. We'll step back. And we line up right heel through the center of the left leg. We turn the hips not forward, but to the side. Open the arms out. Turn the right palm up. Reverse this motion first. Okay, so coming back just lets us get a sense of long right waist, right ribs, right side body. Good. Wave it forwards again, back to neutral with that length. So a lot of the time when we come forwards, this right side body, it will do this. It will start to compress and get squashed. So keep it long, lengthen forwards with the right arm. Good. Lengthen forwards with a long right waist. And then come down to find the block, the shin, the ankle, or the floor. And then open the left arm up to the sky. Okay, nice job. Think about right side of your body over the right thigh. So not tipping forwards, not tipping downwards. If you're not sure about that, just look down. Look down at the leg. Okay, you should be able to see. Is my body shifting forwards? Is my bum poking out? Yeah, you saw, right? Good. Good. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Press down to lift. Nice job. Both hands find the hips. We're going to turn the hips forwards, but it's going to feel a bit impossible to square them forwards like this. So then the left foot just steps out to the left side of the mat a little bit. Good. We square those hips forward. Press through the right foot. Press through the left foot. Let's set up to add the twist. Left arm comes up. Well done. And then lengthen forwards and then come across with that left hand. You find the block, whatever setting feels right for you. You pause. You stabilize. Press into the block, start the rotation, and open the right arm over towards the sky. Okay, right shoulder over the top of the left. Nice job. Take time to breathe here. Good. A little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. There you go. That's the spot. 3, well done. 2, 1. Press down to come back up. Good. Wave those arms up. Well done. Bend into the front leg. Step to the front of the mat again. Nice job. Give the body a shake. All right. Fantastic. And let's make our way down to the ground. Inhale, arms wave up. Exhale, long belly over the thighs, lengthen to fold. Inhale, press against the shins, send the chest forwards. Exhale, both hands down to the ground. Step or hop to the back of the mat. With or without the knees, slow descent downwards, toes untucked. Roll the shoulders back, curl and open up through the heart, cobra or up dog. Well done. And then tuck those toes, exhale, press, stretch long, just for a brief moment or two in the downward facing dog. Well done. And then slowly lower all the way back down onto the knees. Crawl yourself forwards. Cross the ankles over and gently roll back. Find a seated position again one time. Okay, nice job. And this time just gently roll yourself all the way back into a lying position. Nice job. And place both of your feet firmly down onto the ground. So feet nice and close to the hips. Now, if your feet are close enough, you can grab for the ankles with your hands, okay? But you definitely don't have to do that as well. You could just have your hands beside the feet, or you could grab for the outer edges of the mat, okay? All those options are perfectly fine. Wiggle the shoulders in underneath the body, stamp down through the feet, and begin to slowly lift the hips and start to curl up through the spine, lifting the chest. Good. Again, wiggle the shoulders in underneath you. You can catch for the ankles, or you can interlace the fingers underneath you and ground down. Good. To keep the chest, the breastbone rising and expanding. 3, well done. 2, and 1. Release. Lower yourself gently down. Nice work. Just take a rest. Drop the knees in against one another. Fantastic. And then once again, bring those heels in nice and close to the butt. You've got the option, you do the same thing, okay? You lift up into this bridge, this Setu Bandha. Otherwise, you can explore Urdhva Dhanurasana. So if you want to explore that upward facing bow, lifting to the wheel, that's also an option. When you're ready, inhaling to press through the feet and lift up the hips, wiggling shoulders in underneath. Good. If you feel like lifting up to wheel, those hands can come into position and we can press ourselves all the way up. Wherever you are, breathe. 3, 2, lovely, and 1. Okay, bring it down. Take a moment to rest, to breathe. We're going to come up once more, okay? And maybe just sitting up a brief moment, just if you're not so familiar with that, if you want to explore coming up into that wheel, just a quick demo for those of you who aren't so familiar with that pose. So it might be something new. Okay, we're lifting up into the bridge first. Okay, we're getting that arch, that shape that we want in the spine. We're getting that lift and extension through the hips. Okay, if we want to start to lift to that wheel pose, hands beside the ears. With an inhale, we press and place the head down, okay? And this is the first variation. We just get a little bit more comfortable with being inverted like this, drawing the shoulders back, keeping the hips nice and lifted, nice and high. If it feels available to you with the next breath, you can press and come the rest of the way up, okay? Breathe there, make sure you're not holding the breath. When you come down, chin to the chest, gently softening and lowering down, okay? So we'll do one more. You're just going to do the bridge pose, okay? If that's feeling like it's enough today, if you're exploring the Urdhva Dhanurasana, the upward facing bow, you're welcome to go ahead and explore that as well now, okay? You take your time, you choose your preference, and go ahead this last round, okay? Nice. Good job. That was good. That was good. Okay. Nice. Okay, ready? Press and lift. Good. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Chin to chest. Other way. Yeah, and down. Okay, well done. All right, nice job. After this, let's bring the knees into the chest. Nice job. Give yourself a hug and a gentle roll side to side on the mat. Nice one. Straighten the left leg all the way out in front of you and start to draw the right knee deeply and firmly in towards the chest. Okay, we just decompress through the back here after this. Well done. And then change sides. Straighten the right leg. Draw that left knee all the way in towards the chest. Good. Take a nice squeeze. Well done. And then bring both knees back in. And this time open the knees wide and see if you can catch the inner or outer edges of the feet and find a happy baby pose. And just flatten out the lower back against the ground and draw the knees in towards the armpits. And take a gentle roll side to side. Nice job, okay? Just rolling out, slowing down. Well done. And then let's gradually begin to make our way all the way up into a seated position from here. Nice job. I want you to straighten out your left leg, bring the right foot against the inner left thigh like this. So you may or may not need a belt, okay? You may also like to sit. So if you know reaching forwards is quite a challenging movement for you, sit yourself up on a bolster or on a blanket. It's going to assist you with that forward hinge at the pelvis joint, okay? So you're not just solely relying on your spine to do all that reaching. We're starting to see if we can get into the habit here of hinging forwards a little bit more at the hips. And in the beginning, that movement's not so accessible, but with time, okay, it starts to get a little bit more and more available. All right, when you're ready, inhale, arms wave up. Exhale, lengthen forwards. Find either the foot or connect the belt around the foot. Good. And now before we completely settle, relax, unwind into that position, I want you to inhale, pull against the belt or the foot and lengthen up through the spine. Good job. And we're going to hold here for the first 5 breaths. So we're thinking about tilting the pelvis forwards, lifting the spine upwards out of the hips, as opposed to that spine sort of collapsing and falling backwards and downwards. So keep lifting, growing, breathing. And this in itself is a really great way to do the pose. Okay, well done. And then with the next exhale, we're going to take the fold over the left leg. Okay, you find your right depth. Lovely. You take time to breathe. Okay, well done. And then slowly starting to rise back up from that. Okay, we're going to do something a little bit slightly different. Okay, so have the belt nearby. We'll use the belt. Okay, lift this right foot up off the floor now. And see if you can put the outer edge of the right foot to the inner left elbow. And then maybe you can wrap the outer right elbow around the knee, and you end up cradling a baby and rocking that baby to sleep. Other options, you hook like this under the shin, same thing. But what we want to try and do is just bring that shin and chest towards each other, and you should feel it in the outer right hip. Okay? So just sitting up as tall as you can as well, just rocking out a little bit. It's a similar position to pigeon pose, okay, as you can see. Nice job. Lovely. And then we're going to grab a hold of this right foot, and we're going to start to draw the right leg back a little bit like this. Okay, so we sort of crank that right knee back. We hold it with the left hand, right arm threads underneath. Remember the crow pose? We had to connect the thigh against the elbow. Same concept applies. We connect the elbow to the thigh, and then we find the floor as well. Okay, how's that feeling for everyone? Okay, it feels weird. Okay, it's tricky. You can try and adjust, wiggle in under there. Right hand finds the floor. Okay, nice job. Left hand, turn it over the top of the right foot. So you've got an overhand grip now, okay? And here's where the fun begins. Take an inhale, all right? And then with an exhale, kick your right hand against your left leg, and just have a look today at where this leg is able to open up to. Okay? All right? And remember that yoga is just an exploration into your body. All right? So press and kick. And release. All right. Grab a hold of that foot. Good, nice job. Slide that foot up the left thigh like this. See if you can shift that leg into this half Padmasana, this half lotus shape with the foot up along the thigh. If the knee isn't feeling very comfortable here, you place a block in underneath it. Okay, nice job. And now this is where we might need to use our belts. Okay, it's a bit of a strange, different kind of pose. Okay, we're not just going to fold forward. We're going to twist from here. Okay, so this left hand is going to swing around behind us, right? And we're going to try and do it quickly. So we're going to try and do a little bit of a whip around behind like this, just to help that left hand get a bit further. Ideally, left hand to the inner right thigh. Okay? But if that doesn't happen, we just grab our clothing wherever we can. So we grab the shorts, we grab our shirt behind us, something like that. Yeah? Okay? Good. And then the next step is going to be to reach the right arm up and release the right hand either forwards to the foot or to the belt. Okay, so you get the idea. So that belt around the left foot, the right hand catching the belt. Okay, now the idea isn't to fold, it's to lift and to turn. Lift and turn. That same action where we're trying to Really project the spine to lift up out of the pelvis as we rotate. Nice job. Well done. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Release, turn forwards. Both hands forwards, catch either the belt or the foot. Gentle fold over. Nice job. Take your time and breathe. Well done. Slowly wave those arms straight back up. Release those hands down and slide the right leg free. Nice job. Give that leg a shake. You can give it a slap, 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 a bounce, play the drums. All right, and then we got the other side still to do. So bending left leg and opening that left knee out to the side like this. So we sit up on the bolster again. And first round, inhale, wave the arms up. Exhale, hinge and lengthen. Let's find for the foot, or let's use the belt. Okay. So inhale, pull against the foot or the belt, and lift the chest. Lengthen the spine and lengthen the abdomen. Okay. You should feel like the abdomen is not just falling backwards and downwards, but it's moving forwards and upwards. Yeah. So abdomen forwards and upwards. Same with the chest, forwards and upwards. Really projecting that spine tall out from the pelvis. You could even just stay here. This is a really great way to do the pose. And then gradually releasing to fold over the right leg. Okay. Nice. Take your time and make sure you're breathing, all right, through all of these poses. The breath's not closing down or shutting down. Well done. Inhale, wave back up. Release the hands. Nice. Let's catch for the left foot. Lift it off the ground. And we either cradle the baby of that left leg with a little bit of a sway side to side, or we hook the arms underneath. Good. But we try to bring chest and shin as close together, okay, as our body is allowing today. Fantastic. All right. Grab for the foot. We set up for this compass pose. Draw the knee back. Draw the knee back. Good. And then pin that left elbow in under the thigh. Okay. Draw that left elbow in under the thigh. And then left hand, yes, back towards the floor. Nice job. So we try to pin that left thigh back. Right hand, switch to that overhand grip. All right. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale, kick the foot into the hand. Lift, 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 lift. Good. Do your best, kick and breathe. Wherever you are today is perfectly fine, okay? Yoga is a journey, a lifetime journey. All right, so it's not about the peak pose in itself. It's about the journey, okay, that gets you there every single day. The showing up for yourself, the dedication, the discipline that's built along the way. The pose itself means nothing at the end. Okay, and then release. Nice job. Grab for the foot, slide the foot up the right thigh, that half Padmasana on the left side. Good. Put a block in underneath the knee, okay, if you want that support. Well done. Right hand, swing around behind, catch for either the inner left thigh, or you just grab a hold of your clothing here. Okay. Left hand, inhale, raise up. Exhale, wave it forwards. We catch for the foot, or we hook up. We hook onto the belt. Okay. Nice job. So this one, not folding forward, but now inhaling to sit up and rotating. Good. Right hand pulling on the clothing. Left hand pulling against the strap or the foot. Nice rotation. Keep lifting through the spine. Well done. And then unwind, face forwards, release the bind. Last pose here, gentle fold. over the right leg. Lovely. Okay, let's release from that. Wave the arms up. Release the hands down and slide the left leg free. Give the leg a shake, maybe even a slap, a bounce up and down. Nice job. Let's remove our things. Okay, and just take a brief moment now. You can do it with the bolster or the block, but we're going to sit the pelvis onto the bolster. We're going to gently lie back like this, and the bolster is just going to help us bring the feet over the top of the hips in a rested and supported way. And we're just going to invert the body here for half a minute before we settle and rest ourselves into Shavasana. Okay, nice. Okay, and you might feel a bit tingly in the toes. You might start to get a bit cold in the feet as all that blood now rushes down into the upper portion of the body, which is below. So just reversing that force of gravity on the body and on the flow of blood within the body, and reversing the pressure that that gravity creates on all the different areas of the body. Good. A few more breaths. Okay, well done. Bend the legs, place the feet down. Just slide that bolster a little bit further underneath you now, so it's under the back of your knees. And just really allow those legs, hips, thighs to relax. We're going to settle our way into Shavasana from here. If you have a blanket, slide that blanket in beneath the back of the skull. Rest, relax, and release the weight of your head into that nice cushioning support of the blanket below you. Hands just gently opening out to the sides, palms face upwards. And if you haven't already, close the eyes down. Good, and we settle into this final resting pose for the morning. Breath by breath, inviting, encouraging this deep state of rest to unfold. This is a physical state of rest, an energetic state of rest, and a mental state of rest.
And if you feel quite comfortable, rested, steady and stable where you are, you can stay like this for meditation this morning. If you prefer to be in an upright seated position for meditation, you can just gradually and slowly start to make your way into that seated position now. Just bring with you all the restfulness, lightness, calmness from this Shavasana experience. About 20 minutes. Of course. Yeah, if you need the bathroom before meditation, you're welcome to head down and just come back up quietly.
And we'll just begin by dropping into that very natural and neutral experience of breathing in and out of the body. Just to start dropping us into our mindfulness practice this morning. And mindfulness can be defined as simply paying attention to your present moment experience without the usual judgments, criticisms, stories, and identifications that usually occur with or in company with those experiences. So keeping that in mind, just feel the natural sensations of breathing. The very obvious movements through the body that the breath creates as it flows through. Perhaps even noticing the more subtle sensations as well that the breath creates as it flows through. Perhaps sensing if the breath feels warm in certain areas, cool in other areas. Just paying a gentle attention to this full experience of breathing. We're not trying to control or manipulate the breathing. But just paying gentle attention to how it naturally moves through the body from one moment to the next. Allowing this simple observation of breathing to just start dropping us into that state of mindfulness, preparing us to start gently exploring or expanding that mindfulness outwards. And just remembering the definition here, to pay gentle attention to the present moment experience without getting entangled with the judgments, the criticisms, and the stories that those experiences will usually be accompanied by. Let's begin now by just starting to expand that awareness throughout the physical body. And just take note of any feelings, sensations, experiences that you start to notice when you pay attention to the physical body in this way. There might be feelings of pressure in certain regions of the body that are connecting to the ground. There might be some heaviness in certain areas. When you notice that sensation, that feeling, just pay gentle attention to it until a different sensation, a different experience arises and calls for your attention. And then in that moment, pay attention to that sensation, that experience. And in the beginning, we might just be drawn to these very gross, obvious sensations in the body, like heaviness, lightness, warmth, coolness, comfort, discomfort, hardness, softness. But as we continue to settle in, we might start to sense some of those more subtle sensations throughout the body. The little feelings of pulsing, the tingling sensations, the throbbing, the vibrating. Not trying to create any kind of specific experience, but just resting, paying attention to what's naturally there now, moment to moment, in the framework of the body. Let's continue to expand our awareness now. And just open up to start resting and paying gentle attention to the sounds that are just naturally occurring around us. And we might begin by noticing the very gross, obvious sounds, the very loud sounds that seem to be in the immediate vicinity. And as we settle in a little bit deeper, we might begin to notice, sense, and become aware of the more distant sounds, the more subtle sounds, those sounds that seem to be in the background. Not getting caught up in processing or analyzing the different sounds, just really resting into those raw vibrations. If there is a specific sound that seems to be calling for your attention, you can just gently pay attention to that sound. Notice it when it arises, through its duration, when it passes away, the moments of silence before that sound arises again. Or you might just rest into the full spectrum of sound, the various tones and subtones overlapping, coming and going in a symphony. And as we continue into this mindfulness meditation, let's expand our attention to start incorporating any visualizations that might be present or arising. And this might just be some darkness, lightness. There might be some patterns, colors, imagery in that visual spectrum, in that visual field. Just paying a gentle attention to these experiences. Not judging this as good or this is bad. Releasing ourselves from the grips of the critical mind. Just starting to get a bit more comfortable, familiar with just resting, observing, paying attention to things as they are in this natural state of flux, coming and going in a continuous cycle, in a continuous stream. See if you can expand this awareness now to pay attention to any mental activity that's coming and going as we sit in meditation. Observing any streams of thoughts that might be unfolding. Just noticing restfully, calmly, if the mind is drifted to the future, fantasizing, and just knowing that that's what the mind is doing in this moment. Or if the mind is drifting into memories and recollecting past experiences. And just knowing that the mind is recollecting past experience and just letting that happen for as long as it naturally needs to, and then observing when the experience shifts and changes. Observing what comes next after that in an open, spacious, accepting manner, and then observing what follows from that with the same approach. And for the final portion of our meditation here, just resting into this full spectrum of mindfulness, paying gentle attention to the present moment experience as it naturally unfolds, moment to moment, without the judgments, the criticisms, the stories that are usually entangled with each of those experiences. And as you continue to just gently observe, rest, pay attention to the changing experiences from moment to moment, just check in that this is a restful experience. There's nothing forceful or aggressive about this practice. This is a practice of surrender and letting go. Just allowing for some slightly deeper breaths as we prepare to conclude from here. Perhaps just checking in, just noticing how you feel in this moment at the very end of our meditation. If there is a little bit more rest or ease, softness, spaciousness that you can experience in the mind. And if there's not, that's also perfectly fine. This mindfulness practice is something that is really worth developing because it's so simple and easy to incorporate into everyday life. Just to observe and really pay attention to whatever it is that you're doing in each moment. It's a simple thing to bring into your life. It's a simple thing to add to your daily activities, whether you're walking. You'll just be aware of that experience of walking, whether you're working, whether you're washing, just simply tasks can start to become activities to help us just stabilize and settle the mind, dropping consistently back into a more conscious state rather than when that mind is just on autopilot mode, okay, and just sort of drifting around all over the place. Let's join the palms together. And whether you're sitting or lying, just take a full body stretch. Stretch, expand, and open back up after being still for quite a while. Fantastic. Release, bring the hands down to the chest. And just take a bow here. We always allow a little bit of time at the end of the session. This is time where you can thank yourself for all the time, effort, and energy that just went into your practice. Okay, you can show yourself that gratitude that you deserve. Maybe even share a nice smile towards yourself. And maybe even set the intention to just carry along with you, even 1% of this mindfulness with you throughout the day. Okay, and we can seal off our session from here. Namaste. All right, just gently moving the body in any way that feels comfortable, balancing, releasing after being still for a while. All right, thanks very much, everyone. Thanks for all your time, efforts, energy this morning. Much appreciated. It's always nice opening the eyes after meditation and the sun is out. And it's not so cold, right? Yeah. Everyone feeling okay? All right, fantastic. No, thank you. Thank you. It's a big departure day, so maybe we can do a photo now. What do you think? I got the stand, I got the camera. Yeah. Okay, before everyone heads off.
Can you share the video?
Well, yeah, that's my plan, to record some sessions and then just make it available online.
Oh, cool.
That's why this is the first one, so I don't know if was it even recording? Yeah, it's still recording. Say hello. 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 All right. At least you'll remember if you watch this video, you were here for this class. Stop.